Okay, these are Dr. McDougall quotes, part 6, page 6 of the quotes. Okay, the first one is, people cannot cut down on food. They have to stop eating it. They have to stop eating animal foods and oils. It's just like alcohol and cigarettes. They can't cut down. They have to stop these things. In all my years as a doctor, 45 years, I've never seen a smoker or an alcoholic be successful at cutting down. They must quit 100%. Okay, there's no such thing as a dietary deficiency of omega-3 fat from a plant-based diet. Essential fat deficiency is essentially unknown in free-living populations. That's important because I have people asking me questions. Oh, they were told to get a test for their blood levels of omega-3 and they're deficient, so they got a supplement. I personally think that's all BS, okay? And I'll tell you that because, you know, all these backward blue zone populations, people rural and illiterate, they don't supplement. They just eat healthy plant foods. It takes care of itself. I gave a previous lecture where I showed there's relatively high amounts of omega-3 fats in just routine plant foods. So you don't need to go seeking them out. The fish get them from plants. It's sort of a non-issue. And, you know, we can remember things from our childhood because brain cells, neurons don't turn over that much. Okay, you don't need that much omega-3s. That's the theoretical benefit of them, to fluidize the plasma cell membranes for faster neuronal conduction. But it ends up turning out that I think what most people do with these omega-3 supplements is they overdose themselves on things they don't need, especially the longer chain omega-3s, which are more prone to lipid peroxidation because they've got more double bonds in them, such that they got more methylene bridges, meaning more carbons and more hydrogens vulnerable to lipid peroxidation. I think the whole thing's a bad idea. I think it's a scam just to sell you stuff, just so you know. Okay, here's McDougall continuing. Well, first of all, he said there's no essential fat deficiency in free-living populations. Okay, it's essentially unknown. Okay, all I see is fat people every day. I've never seen a fat deficient patient. Okay, Blankenhorn's data showed that only total reduction of dietary fat was beneficial for reduction of atherosclerosis. You want to reduce total dietary fat. Okay, all the fats have metabolic problems. You know, they all contribute to obesity. They all lead to weight gain, insulin resistance. They're, you know, like Pritikin had said, fat is bad. You don't want to seek it out. So that was a big study, Blankenhorn study. Okay, Dr. McDougall continues. Change in type of fat did not provide a significant benefit. Whatever fat they ate, Blankenhorn's data on coronary heart disease and lower extremity atherosclerosis, all types of dietary fat ended up, in the long run, they all ended up being atherogenic. Okay, fat paralyzes the insulin receptor. Yeah, we know that. J. Shirley Sweeney showed this back in 1927 with a bunch of medical students. You feed them a carbohydrate diet, their insulin resistance is low. You feed them a high-fat diet, and they become insulin resistant. They'll fail the oral glucose tolerance test. Okay, type 2 diabetes is 100% curable. This is Dr. McDougall here, and he says it's pretty much impossible to get type 2 diabetes while eating the McDougall diet because it's a low-fat diet. The McDougall diet is a low-fat, starch-based vegan diet. Then he says nuts have 80 to 95% of their calories from fat, and they should be kept to a minimum. Fat makes cancer grow. Sugar does not. That's from his video about does sugar feed cancer. And Dr. McDougall said fat is the number 1 toxin in the Western diet. Number 2 toxin is animal protein. Okay, high-fat meal decreases arterial PO2 by 20%. Otto Warburg said that he could turn normal cells into cancer cells by depriving them of oxygen. Yeah, and that's thought to be due to the hypoxia, lack of oxygen causing a mitochondrial injury. And also, you know, T. Colin Campbell said he could turn cancer on and off by just removing the animal protein. T. Colin Campbell also said it doesn't matter how much animal protein you give. As soon as you get over 0, you start seeing an increased incidence of cancer. Okay, those studies were done in rodents. All right, Dr. McDougall continues. There's no naturally occurring diet that could be too low in protein or in calcium. There has never been a report of a dietary calcium deficiency. I've never seen a case of calcium deficiency or of protein deficiency from any naturally chosen diet. So yeah, he just continues. There is no such thing as dietary protein deficiency from a naturally chosen diet. That's real important because lots of people think they need more calcium, they need more protein, and those are really non-issues. What are people deficient in? They're deficient in the stuff that comes from plants. Potassium, magnesium, dietary fiber, antioxidants, nitrates, the precursors of nitric oxide. That all comes from plants. All the good stuff comes from plants. And then all the bad stuff comes from animal foods. Saturated fat, arachidonic 6, arachidonic acid, gosh, what else? Lack of dietary fiber, all those bioaccumulated toxins, all the high cholesterol, the sat fat, the animal protein itself with the sulfur, amino acids, cysteine, methionine. Okay, Dr. McDougall continues. Old people do not need more protein. Yeah, that whole thing I think is another scam. Oh, old people are sarcopenic, so they need to eat more protein. That's BS. Okay, I actually wonder if they should be given more testosterone, anabolic steroids to some of these, cachectic cancer patients or frail old people. I think that's underutilized. I mean, don't get me wrong. I realize there's an increased risk of coronary artery disease, but you know what? I won't get into that anymore. That's sort of my thoughts. That was not Dr. McDougall's thoughts. Those were my thoughts. A comment on testosterone. Okay, Dr. McDougall continues. Old people, it's normal for them to eat less food. It's normal for old people to become thinner. People get sick when dietary protein exceeds 35% or higher. It's a type of sickness called rabbit starvation. Dr. McDougall continues, you should be suspicious of conventional doctors. You should view them as businessmen, like used car salesmen. The average doctor knows no more about nutrition than his secretary, and and if she's on a diet, then she knows more. Okay, so that's it for page 6 of Dr. McDougall quotes.